24-774.
A man from Leeds is scheduled to be sentenced today after killing a man from Windham. Last month, Joseph Shute was found guilty of murder in the death of Alex Jackson. Prosecutors say Shute owed Jackson money and killed him so he didn't have to pay it back.
Richard Thorpe has been found guilty of murder in the death of his ex-girlfriend, Virginia Cookson. Cookson was found dead in Bangor in September of 24. The jury deliberated for just over an hour yesterday. Throughout the 5-day trial, the prosecution pointed to multiple pieces of evidence, including the fact that Thorpe's DNA was found on the HDMI cord that was discovered wrapped around Cookson's neck.
This was we feel, a very strong case, and so we were just waiting for it to get to the jury, and thankfully they agreed with us and came back with a quick guilty verdict.
There was some pretty compelling evidence presented by the state of guilt, and we did have some issues with regard to the investigation.
The defense says it plans to file a motion for Thorpe to undergo a psychiatric evaluation before sentencing happens. That is expected to happen on September 1st.
A judge is allowing convicted sex offender Elliot Cutler limited access to the internet. Cutler has allegedly violated his probation 4 times since last October, with a 5th accusation being dismissed. During a hearing yesterday, the judge ruled that Cutler will be allowed to use the internet on weekdays from 9 to 5 with supervision by his wife or brother. Cutler will also have to alert his probation officer when he's going online, and his internet activity will be monitored. Judge Patrick Larson explained his decision, citing one of Cutler's alleged violations when police caught him with sexually explicit DVDs.
That incident, to me, seems like he's a desperate man and bought DVDs and a DVD player. Had he wanted to be deceitful, he could have just bought a computer at Walmart and not bought a DVD player. And he could have accessed the internet without anyone knowing it.
Judge Larson also approved a motion to allow the state more time to investigate accounts that Cutler just recently provided passwords to. Cutler's next probation hearing on that has not yet been scheduled. He is expected to continue attending court-mandated and private treatment programs.
3 more female inmates are joining an ongoing lawsuit against policies regarding transgender inmates at the Maine Correctional Center in Windham. In a complaint filed against the DOC, the women claim they've been forced to live with, quote, transgender identifying male inmates, including convicted murderer Andrea Balser. The inmates say Balser has sexually harassed, threatened, and retaliated against them whenever they complained. The lawsuit alleges that prison officials have ignored their concerns and instead placed some of the women in segregation. The inmates and their lawyer are asking a federal judge to strike down the policy, saying it violates their own constitutional rights.
They are women who are serving a sentence for nonviolent crimes, and they're forced to be housed with violent men. And so the goal of the lawsuit is to separate inmates at the Maine Correctional Center on the basis of sex, to get the men out of the women's facility.
The Maine Department of Corrections says it does not comment on pending litigation, but did write in a statement that the department continues to follow federal and state law in transgender housing decisions and investigates all allegations of safety concerns. The Department of Corrections also says Maine law states all inmates have the right to have their gender identity respected and acknowledged. Attorneys representing Balser and the Department of Corrections have 60 days to respond or to file a motion to dismiss the complaint.
Robbins Lumber Mill in Searsmont is back open after that deadly fire and explosion there last month. The owners say the mill is now fully operational. They say they are using the Sanford location for warehousing. They also have built a temporary warehouse in Searsmont, and they're using a mill in East Baldwin for production needs. The owners also say Jim Alden and Lily Robbins are still receiving care at Mass General's Burn Center. One firefighter, Andrew Cross from Morrill, died in response to the fire, and a dozen other people were also hurt. Investigators say the fire and explosion were accidental.